Each year, more than £2 billion is spent on something that's sacred to our Muslim community. Big chains and supermarkets are now latching on to a growing market in halal meat. But how can 2 million Muslims be sure that what they're eating is halal? Alistair Jackson's been investigating.
حرمت عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل لغير الله به والمنخنقة والموقوذة.
Halal. For Britain's 2 million Muslims, it's a word that defines how to live every area of life devoutly. But it's on the plate that halal is best illustrated. Meat can only be called halal if the animal is blessed before it's slaughtered. The animal isn't stunned beforehand. Its throat is cut straight away, something Muslims believe is less stressful to the animal.
Halal basically means pure and permissible. And when a Muslim thinks about halal, it's not only to do with diet and drink, but it is to do with all our actions. Earning your daily bread, how you live your life, how you treat your neighbors, how you go about your business. Everything that you do has to be permissible. But for the average Muslim, when you say the word halal, the first thing that comes to mind is food.
But how can the Muslim consumer be certain that what's served up is authentically halal? Traditionally, it's been a matter of trust, but now some customers are looking for extra guarantees. This restaurant in Leicester attracts people from across all communities. The Akhtar family are regulars, but for them, as Muslims, coming here is a carefully considered decision.
We're very careful about where we get our meat from, and we'll ensure that the butchers we go to, for example, provide meat that is certified by certain organisations, and so we do the same when we're eating out as well. We certainly wouldn't eat at the restaurants where there is doubt over whether or not it is halal meat, so it is very, very important to us.
It's hugely important that what we eat is authentically the way we like the meat to be slaughtered and prepared. Life is, after all, a great gift of God, and if we're to take life to fill our stomachs, then it should be done in the manner that God would want us to want it to be.
Britain's Muslim community make up 3% of the total UK population, but consume 20% of all red meat sold, and it's a growing market. Faz Mullah remembers a time when Muslim families were able to see for themselves if their meat was authentically halal.
So when you were growing up, what did eating halal mean then?
Well, when I was a youngster, there was many halal shops here. We used to go to slaughterhouses with my father, just around the corner in fact, and pick up live chicken and slaughter them in the house or in the garden.
And of course the point of that was absolute proof it was halal because you were doing it at home.
Yeah, absolutely. We picked the animal ourselves, we brought it home ourselves, and the act of making the chicken halal was done by ourselves, and so it was an absolute guarantee of halal.
Nowadays, slaughtering at home like that is of course illegal. It's left to Muslim consumers having to trust slaughterhouses. Now Faz Mullah wants the system to be properly scrutinised.
We're trying to instill that confidence once again to consumers who want to know that the products that they're eating are genuinely halal. They have no sight of them anymore. And what the Halal Monitoring Committee does is we have inspectors present who observe the halal criteria being met.
Can you confirm for me, Maulana, whether the certificate has now been issued?
The Halal Monitoring Committee, or HMC, is based in Leicester, but is setting up a nationwide regime of inspecting and monitoring. Today we're at the start of the process. This slaughterhouse in the Midlands is signed up to the HMC. It kills up to 25,000 chickens every day and has employed 3 trained halal slaughtermen to do it.
It's of paramount importance to us. We are not Muslims, we happen to be Christians, but there's a lot of so-called halal meat products on the market which have perhaps been slaughtered at other Muslim slaughterhouses which haven't gone through the correct halal criteria, which we actually have done. So it's very, very, very dear to our hearts in that everything what we produce here is true halal.
Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. close up, it's a process that's not for the faint-hearted. Each bird is blessed by the slaughterman. Then its throat is cut and the blood allowed to drain out. An inspector from the HMC watches over the whole process.
It's just to give them confidence at the end of the day that we are following these strict procedures, and these procedures are there to protect everybody, to ensure that the product they get is completely 100% certified and true halal.
Finally, each carcass is labelled as HMC approved and then sent out to retailers, including this butcher's in Leicester.
What we do show them the stickers which are placed on the chickens. If it's valid, then yes, they will buy the chickens. And we have, it has been a big change.
But the system actually goes further. For the butchers to be certified by the HMC, he has to allow inspectors in to check his supply. It costs him about £1 a day to be inspected.
Our system has more traceability than other systems. There are other monitoring bodies which monitor for the halal, but they will not actually go to the outlet and look at the storeroom.
The certificate displayed in the window gives customers an extra guarantee, and HMC members have told us that joining the scheme has boosted business.
And the Halal Monitoring Committee, whose work you saw in that film, tell us that big-name supermarkets are now also talking to them about joining up to the scheme.